In Barcelona, they're even more desperate for the title, which they've not won since 1994, when Johan Cruyff was in charge. Now Bobby Robson is coach, with just one objective. But if he fails to bring the title back to Catalonia, he'll be on his way. It's a difficult task. Defeat is met with derision by the hostile press, and their only defeat of the season against Athletic Bilbao was a bad blow to Robson's leadership. Press conferences are brutal. This one took place after a win. Robson's crime, that Barcelona only scored 3 times against unfancied Extremadura.
If they expected me to sit here and criticise the players, I might as well go out of the game, because I'm not going to do that. Nobody wins or loses championships in December anyway, so there's a lot of games to play. We've 42 league games here, the biggest programme in Europe, and I think this is the 15th game. So there's still a lot of football yet to be played. 28 games or so games to be still to be played.
But if Real Madrid have got Suker, Barcelona have a goal machine of their own. Ronaldo is the league's top scorer and is arguably the world's best striker at the moment.
I saw Pelé, and Pelé for me was the best player that I had ever seen. Ronaldo's coming into that, but he's only 20. But this is Ronaldo, this is what he can do.
For both Robson and Capello, this match will be a totally new experience, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
This week's encounter from the Nou Camp brings together 2 of Europe's giant clubs, Barcelona and Real Madrid, as well as 2 of football's most successful and enigmatic coaches, head-to-head for a last ever meeting in Spanish football. The Italian Fabio Capello and the Englishman Bobby Robson have records that bear scrutiny even from the harshest of critics. Real's coach Capello brought to Madrid a record of 4 Italian League championships and a European Cup win. Bobby Robson's record is equally impressive. He's won 4 league titles in 2 countries, as well as leading Ipswich Town to the UEFA Cup back in 1981. He was headhunted by Barcelona from FC Porto in Portugal, shortly after leading them to a 2nd successive league championship. His task at Barca was to follow Johan Cruyff, who'd brought 4 championships to the club but won nothing in his last 2 years. Like Capello at Real, Robson has completely reorganised the team, bringing in 9 new players for a total cost of around $40 million. But the investment's paying dividends, with Barcelona in the finals of the Spanish and Cup Winners' Cups. His relationship with fans and sections of the press has at times been tempestuous, though, fueling rumours he may leave at the end of the season.
If they expected me to sit here and criticise the players, I might as well go out of the game, because I'm not going to do that.
Nonetheless, Robson knows the importance of this game to Barcelona's fans, and beating Real comes second only to winning the championship.
Who's the biggest? I mean, I would say I've been all over the world. As I said, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Argentina, England, and into Italy. But this is the biggest club game of football in the world, and everybody wants to see it.
For Bobby Robson, 90 minutes of football against Real Madrid could make or break his tenure at Barcelona. It's Barca's first outing in the Cup, and they've drawn the old enemy. The main problem, though, is the defence. The worst moment for Robson in 7 months at Barcelona has been a defeat by Hercules.
A disastrous night for Barcelona coach Bobby Robson, and the white handkerchiefs were brandished towards the end. That's a traditional sign of Catalan discontent. As Real Betis prepared to take on Barcelona, with the Catalans still smarting from their shock defeat by Hercules, and with Bobby Robson less than secure in his post as Barcelona coach. Here, awash with rumours that Bobby Robson had been sacked before Barca's game with Racing Santander. Well, Robson turned up to still be on the bench, and he saw them win 1-0. Luis Enrique with the goal from an Angel Cuellar free kick just before the break. And there was worse to come in the final minute, when the Barca defence again failed to pick up Oli, who planted his header perfectly, and once again Bayer could only watch. Bobby Robson was furious, as were the handkerchief-waving supporters.
His cross floated over Zubizarreta and fell for Ronaldo. The Brazilian couldn't miss from there. 2 valuable points, though, dropped for Bobby Robson's team.
Ronaldo got on the scoresheet himself with a spectacular solo run from the halfway line, this time finishing himself and astonishing everyone, including Bobby Robson, his coach. Ronaldo's second came in the 46th minute.
This was the goal that secured Barcelona's 8th European trophy. Back home, the city could hardly contain itself. Barcelona's most popular street, Las Ramblas, was awash with people dancing and singing in recognition of Barca's 4th European Cup Winners' Cup title. As the heroes returned from Rotterdam, the focus was again on Ronaldo, whose solitary winner has put the shine back on Bobby Robson's coaching future.
Players have worked very hard and played with a lot of spirit and a lot of concentration, and you know, they've had a big ambition tonight to win it, so I'm very proud of the players.
The players had precious little time to savour their achievements. The next day, a 3-hour afternoon training session was followed by a civic reception in the Catalan capital. First, the team stopped off at a cathedral bearing the name of Merced, the patron of Barcelona. Then it was off to St. Jaume Square, where the silverware went on show in front of fans and local dignitaries, including Jordi Pujol, president of the region of Catalonia. There'll be even more reason to celebrate if Barcelona can catch Real Madrid and win the Spanish league crown.
In the very first game of the season against Oviedo last August, Barcelona's brand of open attacking football lit up the Primera Liga. Few teams could live with the Catalans as they accumulated an incredible 101 league goals in 42 games. But careless defeats at crucial stages saw the championship slip away, leaving rivals Real Madrid to lift the title. Robson was vilified in the Spanish press almost daily as reporters hounded the coach and his players, branded cart horses. But the Englishman confounded his critics with sensational progress in just about every other competition. Barcelona's form in the European Cup Winners' Cup was exemplary. They cruised to victory, disposing of Yugoslav, Swedish, Italian and French opposition along the way. Barcelona fans could once again bask in European glory.
Barcelona's English coach. He's had a successful season, but Real's league triumph hasn't helped his position. Only one man knows the answer, Barcelona president Josep Luis Núñez. It's a crazy situation, which only a club like Barcelona could contemplate. Everyone assumes that Dutch coach Louis van Gaal, who's resigned from Ajax, is coming next season. He's saying nothing, not least because there's still someone in the Barcelona hot seat who's winning things. Surprisingly, the coolest head in this tense situation is Robson's. He has a year of his contract left, and he's got the King's Cup fun against Betis at the end of the month.
There is talk that Louis van Gaal will come. They see him as the future of the club. I understand that because he's much younger than me, and he had success in Ajax, and there's a chance that they can sign him on. But they have to make my position clear, and they will do that only at the end of the season. So I have to be patient, not get angry about it, keep calm, do the best I can, don't lose my motivation, which I won't anyway, and wait and see.
Robson and his wife Elsie live half an hour south of Barcelona on the coast. Not surprisingly, they enjoy the lifestyle here. But when he joined the Catalan club, he was well aware of Barcelona's unique ground rules.
I just knew that you had to win, and if you didn't win, then your contract could be terminated fairly quickly. You know, you live by the sword.
The sword, in Barcelona's case, can often be the pen or the microphone. Media pressure is intense, and the Spanish press, some still regretting the demise of Johan Cruyff, are divided into two camps, for and against Robson's regime. And despite a hard training in the British school of tabloid criticism, Robson has been surprised here.
The surprise has been, I think, the intensity of the criticism when we are having a good season. 6-0, and played outstandingly well from start to finish, and the next day one paper said that Barcelona won 6-0 but didn't play any football. Now, can you imagine that? I look back over the season, I think if we failed, it's when we played teams of less quality than we've got, where the players have thought, it would be easy. When we come to play the big teams, the difficult matches, the quality, we've risen to that occasion and knocked them over. So that's where the mistake has been made. We go to Tenerife and lose 4-0. Think it's easy. We give away 2 penalties. We lose 2 players in the match. We finish with 9 players. We lose 4-0.
But overall, Robson's teams have provided a lot of entertainment. They've had their best start for 33 years, and they've already scored 100 league goals. They've played 15 more games than Real Madrid this season in cup competitions, and they'll be in the Champions League with them next season. And some of their more eccentric performances included giving Atletico Madrid a 3-goal start in the cup and still beating them 5-4. Cavalier, erratic, irresponsible, call them what you will, but they'll talk about that one for years. Their performances in the European Cup Winners' Cup brought the fans onto the streets in their thousands. Victory in Holland over Paris Saint-Germain was the finale, although probably the best performance was winning in Italy when they outplayed and outthought Fiorentina.
I can't tell you over the last 10 years which team have gone into Italy in the semi-final of the European Cup and knocked out the Italian team. Barcelona did it. That was our quality.
And talking of quality, they're prepared to break the bank to replace Ronaldo, but they're still hoping to keep him.
In his heart, I don't think he has any wish to leave here. Why should he want to leave Barcelona? It is the biggest club in the world. He's popular here, he's a hero, he's king, he has a wonderful life, and he's only 20. He's got another 10 years to play football. He'll finish about a mega millionaire. How much more does he want? It's crazy, in my opinion, for him to change.
And golf lessons for Robson to reshape his swing, which has a built-in slice, shouldn't be seen as an interest in retirement. Nothing of the sort. This is the man who 3 years ago underwent major facial surgery for cancer. He'd have been dead in 6 months without the operation. But he still drives himself on, age 64, and loving every minute of it. It's the cup final next against Betis on June 28, knowing that at Barcelona, big names, good results mean nothing in their insatiable demand for the best, and he could be the next victim.
It is a different culture, and you can't change it. It'll be 100 years you won't change, so don't waste your time. They run the club, they make the decisions. And what they make, you either accept or you don't. And that's the position it is now. Then next year may change, in spite of what I've done this year. Okay, I have to decide if that's what they want. Do I want it? And do I agree with it? Or do I not want it? And do I disagree with it? And I will make my own decision. They will make theirs, I will make mine. And we'll both be happy.
And what a season for Bobby Robson. Congratulated by Evander La Peña. They've won the Spanish Super Cup. They've won the Cup Winners' Cup. Now the Spanish Cup.
Elsewhere in Spain, former Ajax boss Louis van Gaal has confirmed the worst-kept secret in football by joining Barcelona as manager. Bobby Robson has been moved sideways to technical director with responsibility for scouting.
Louis van Gaal, from me, will get 100% of support and loyalty.
But although coach Bobby Robson had a successful year, he was under continual pressure from media and fans. So Barcelona president Josep Luis Núñez diplomatically moved Robson to an executive post and hired Ajax's Louis van Gaal to coach the first team. Van Gaal had phenomenal success during his 6 years at Ajax, winning 3 titles as well as the European Cup. So what would constitute a successful year for him in Barcelona?
When you play attractive way of football, and when we pick up a prize. So the main prize in Spain is of course the championship. But when we pick up a prize, I'm satisfied.
During his days in Holland, Van Gaal developed a unique system at Ajax. So will he try to bring success to Barcelona by following the same philosophy?
No, I have to look for the players, the quality of the players, and also the culture inside Spain. And I have an idea of playing football, but it's not related to any system.
Whatever Van Gaal decides, he'll have to do without the outstanding talent of the World Player of the Year. Ronaldo's elongated transfer to Inter eventually added $80 million to the Barcelona accounts. Other players surplus under the new regime, French international defender Laurent Blanc, who moved to Marseille. And last season's captain Jica Popescu went to Galatasaray in Turkey for $3.5 million. But Barcelona have spent their new money on a number of players Robson believes have the quality to carry them through to another successful season.
Well, they've invested in Dugarry and Anderson from Monaco. I mean, big money buys. Anderson had a lot of success with Monaco. They didn't want to sell. He's a centre-forward, very lively, very quick, goes without the ball, goes with the ball. Dugarry is very talented. Big boy, tall, holds it up well, spins well. He's always there and thereabouts in the box when the ball comes in. Rivaldo is a big guy rather, but he can dribble and he can pass. And not only pass short, but he can pass long. He can hit the one from inside left to outside right over the top of the full back and, 40 metres, 50 metres, this sort of stuff. So I like him very much, and he'll be a great, in my opinion, acquisition. It's a great championship. It's a strong championship, a lot of quality. Isn't football crazy sometimes?
Y al gol de Kovacevic.
Colocarse, ahí va de la Peña, lanzamiento de la Peña.